Hi everybody, and thank you for joining me today. So, done most of the tail now. Yeah, I'm going to be filling in sort of the very edge of this last feather here and some of what is above it, the bit of the wall, bit of flowers as it moves into the wall here. So, yeah, I've made some pretty good progress. We are now past 44%, so woohoo! Yeah, I don't think I will hit 45% by the end of the month. If I do bonus, but yeah, I don't think that's going to happen with all the other stuff that needs doing this month. I'm going to be busy with that. Making these sessions for you all, but not really getting stitching time much beyond that. So yeah, so there is a bit of closing in here, but as usual, I'm going to work along the established edges and sort of grow my way probably up, and some will come down until they meet in the middle there. Okay. Some different colors than I've been using lately, because yeah, this is sort of the gap where between the feathers and the wall. And that is why I stitched that way. I found following the shapes of the colors made things go a little quicker, a little easier to juggle. Huh. I wonder if they're going to do road work around here. There's a city truck there. We shall see. Yeah, not sure whether they're going to tear down the elementary school that's near our house, because they said, yeah, after the end of the school year, they aren't going to use it for a school anymore, as there's some bad mold was found in it. So yeah, obviously that's a health risk. So yeah, they're not sure whether they're going to just take the building down entirely or just have it shut, or if someone's going to actually try to clean it out and repurpose it for something else. Guess we will see. I guess that means our streets will be plowed even less here. Yeah, we live sort of a couple blocks away from the school, and that street would get plowed because it was a school bus route, and then ours was like always last. I said, yeah, it's kind of nice because we don't get a lot of through traffic, and we generally don't get people parking on the street who don't live here taking the space, so that is nice. But yeah, the drawback is that means we are the lowest priority when it comes to street cleaning and snow removal. All right, yes, so some purples here. We had some of that in the last pass, sort of, yeah. I'm guessing sort of blurring where the tail feathers meet the wall. Some of it is going to be from the flowers that are growing on the wall there. Yeah, sometimes while you're stitching it, it's not entirely clear what the picture is until you take in the whole thing. I'm gonna be leapfrogging these back and forth a little bit. Just gonna, there, change the tilt of this a little tiny bit. Yeah, maybe time to adjust my stand again soon. Yeah, it's not always at the same angle, because depending on how much folded fabric is sort of in my way will change sort of the angle of how the Q-snap sits. And if I find I'm starting to sort of hunch over a little too much over my work instead of sitting straight, then I know it's time to adjust my frame, because yeah, I try to bring the work to myself and not myself to the work, because yeah, I will get sore if I do that. If I hunch over, that's not good for you. Yeah, I can always buy myself a new craft stand, but you can't buy yourself a new spine, right? So for the moment, I'm probably going to have separate threads for this color that's here and the color that's up there, but we'll see. I might be able to do it with one thread. And we'll see if I manage to handle that as I go along here. Sometimes I can juggle both, and sometimes I cannot. I'll park that right there. Do the one in the corner. Always trying to do the ones that are in the corner first, generally. I say always, but, well, not always, just as a general rule, yeah. Okay, so. Yeah, we had some hot days, but cool nights, so that was nice. Oh, maybe that isn't a city truck, just one that has lights on it. Guy's got his dog in the back. I don't know if you're allowed to take them to work, so. Yeah. Yeah, he could tell because he had his head out the window. It's funny that they like doing that. Yeah, except my in-laws had a dog that got car sick, so that was fun. Yeah, they couldn't take him anywhere by car. Yeah, they had to find a new home for him because they moved to a place that didn't have a yard, and it just wasn't fair to him, right? Yeah. He needs his space to run around. Yeah, I do not have the energy to be a dog owner. I like dogs, but yeah. It is more work than I'm willing to put in. I've often said if your favorite kid stage is toddlers, then you probably love having a dog, because that's what it's like having them forever. Yeah. Toddler stage was not my favorite. I don't think I really had a favorite stage. I just sort of enjoyed them as they went along, but yeah. I mean, they're certainly cute when they're that age, but they also need you a lot. Okay. Yeah, so we went to the dentist, and Kiddo's gonna have to get his wisdom teeth out. Yeah. He was a little disappointed. They did the x-ray, the panoramic one where it travels around you. And yeah, he has all 4 wisdom teeth because, yeah, he was hoping he didn't have all 4 because I did not have 4. I had only 3. And his dad had 4, but he said 1 fell out on its own. So Yeah, kiddo's got 4. He's got 1 that they said would probably come in no problem by itself, but the other 3 are all going sideways, and they would definitely impact on the molars already there. So yeah, they gotta go. And we gotta go out of town for it. They don't do it locally, so yeah. Yeah, I said when I had mine out, I had this fear of being, oh dear, I'm knocking over jars here. I had this fear of being put under, so I didn't, and I said, yeah, I don't recommend doing it with local anesthetic. It was not fun. I said if I had to choose to do it again, I would definitely have them put me out, so. But yeah, they said get it done sooner rather than later, because I waited until mine were actually starting to cause jaw pain, and I still have it years later. I had it before I had braces, and then once things were straightened, it was fine, and then when the wisdom teeth in came in, the jaw pain came back, and I don't get it as often, but it is still there, so yeah, I should not have put it off, because I think I got mine done when I was 22? Yeah. Well, they say anywhere from the ages of 17 to 24 is the ideal, but yeah. I said, and since it's summer, might as well do it now, and then he can recover. Take it easy. So we said we'll drive out there in the morning. He'll have the procedure, and then we'll probably have a hotel room and stay there overnight so he can rest before we drive back home. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Okay, come on. Where are you? Oh, there. I knew there was a knot. I felt it, but then I couldn't find the loop with my fingers. There we go. So yeah, we got quite a steep curve right here. But yeah, for most of this area, I was building up from the bottom up of these feathers. Oh, I think I did too many. Yep, that should have been only the 1 in the corner, not 2. I miscounted. Luckily, because of my grid lines, I was cross-checking and I found that pretty quick. I mean, I suppose the color next to it is so similar I could have fudged it, but I'd rather do it correctly in the first place if I can. Okay, a little bit of a stretch here, but not too far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these along here, and then I will carry back up on the other edge. That way I can do it all with one thread and without doing the stitches out of order. Color that one in there too. Goodness, overshot. We had a little bit of smoke in the air yesterday, but not bad. Hopefully it's not going to get worse. So yeah, there's this color, and then here it starts becoming the green sort of outline of that feather, but I'm just gonna kind of cut it off there for now and keep filling this in, and then we'll see if I have time. We will then continue further along down the curve of that last feather there. So yeah, I kind of want to fill this all in because then I can shift the whole frame over. Oh boy, a whole bunch of sirens. Oh, there, I almost went too far again. That was the second level there. Okay, and then park that there. And then switch colors. So yeah, this blue here is sort of where the color starts changing. That's where I'm going to stop for the moment. Yeah, because I mean, I could work all the way up and close in towards there, or I could work from down here and close in towards here. Either way, it's going to kind of close in a little bit. The way that I've chosen to stitch, that's just not completely avoidable. I will deal. And I think this is a color I can probably pack away. Let's take a look. Just mark those before I forget. Oh yeah, there's no more except at the very bottom. A few, so I'm going to put that back in its envelope. Provided I can find it, of course. There it is. Yeah, as I stitch over into the garden wall, I'll be changing out the colors that I have in my working tray. Yeah, as far as I can tell, there'll be no zeros this pass. Maybe next one, but it doesn't look like it. Because, yeah, I do another swath of the tail, but there's still more to come, so. Although I think we get the last of, yeah, the last of the water in this next pass, so maybe we will see. If there's any colors that are of the blue that are exclusive to that part of the pattern, then we might actually get some zeros. We will see. And that will be close to the half done mark again. Yeah, these huge patterns, it usually takes until at least halfway through before I start hitting any zeros, generally. Okay, yeah, so this is the one I decided I was gonna finish this one and then park it, and we'll carry it back up once I get to those stitches. Unthread that because I think it's going to be a while before I get there. So now back up to the top again. Let's take a look. Okay, so either way, I'm probably going to do something out of order here because I don't want to do another thread. So have you guessed the path I'm going to take? Move that fabric on the top out of my way. Yeah, from now on, all my passes are 60 rows. The first two were 70. I'm going to be doing the same with the next project. The Deer Creek is exactly 500 rows tall, and dividing by 60, that's 480, and then there'll be 20 left, so I will add those 20 to the first two passes. Yeah. So there will be 8 passes across that one. Because, yeah, I could just do the last 20, but I kind of don't like doing so few for a pass because that means I end up moving my frame a lot more often than I want to. So, yeah, I would prefer to work 10 rows higher and move my frame less often. Yeah, I kind of find it, if my last pass is going to be sort of 40 rows, then at least, then I don't mind doing that. But yeah, sort of anything less than that, and I kind of like to divide them up with the first passes, and then, like I said, I don't have to move my frame over, because, yeah. I do like spreading it out and taking a picture in between that, but it is a bit of a process to wrestle it out of the stand and pull it out of the frame and get everything properly tucked away and back into the stand again is a bit of an ordeal. So yeah, I had a friend over one time. She's also a stitcher, and she said, "Oh, can you take it out and show me?" I'm like, "Oh, but I don't like doing that." And I was like, "Okay, well, I guess I will, because yeah, I know you'll appreciate it." Since you're also a stitcher. Yeah, she works on much higher counts than I can. She's working on 28 count right now, doing just the tent stitch, the half stitch. But because the squares are so tiny, honestly, you have to be really, really close to be able to see that. Okay, this one is too short to really do anything else with. Oops, let's try that again. There we go. Now, I think in that case, I will end up with one small thread doing these 3 here and a different thread doing the ones that are carrying on down that way. But I'm going to be back up at the top again, because like I said, I'm trying to fill this kind of triangular sort of shape here first before I continue on sideways. Yeah, when I move the frame, because I have the ruler that's kind of holding it up, it kind of makes a slant this way, so the top part sort of has to be further over. If I try to move it over too soon, I won't be able to, because the ruler will be in my way. But the ruler keeps it from rotating in the clamp and collapsing on me, because that is always very annoying. It's a little bit of juggling back and forth here. Oh, I see. I did park that there, but I forgot to mark it, that checkerboard one. Yeah. The good thing is, because I always park in the upper right-hand corner, I know what color that is, even though I didn't mark it. Plus, I have them kind of memorized by now, yeah. If you say 434, I know that's a light tan color, and yeah. I find I work with these colors enough. I start to memorize what number goes with which shade, and so if it's wrong, I can usually tell. Okay. Ooh. then I think the purple's going to sort of end right about here, and then here's where I can see the, yeah, the wall colors are starting to come in. So the light peach and the yellow and the tan starts coming in there. Actually, I think I'm going to start it from the bottom of this, yeah, run of colors, because I like to do all the bottoms and do all the top legs, so. See if that purple will go back. There we go. Sometimes stitching downwards will make it go back, but sometimes it's stubborn and it won't. Yeah, so I did actually start at 0 this time. I had a few sessions where I didn't. This time I did. So whatever number is up there at the end is what I did this session. Yeah, we passed 135,000. So I should make 150,000 total by the end of the year for sure. I would say. Because, yeah, that's about 15,000 and I've got like 6 months, so I'll probably do it in about half that. Maybe 2/3 of that, but yeah. Barring any major unforeseen circumstances. And then that will put us close to halfway exactly is 153,450. So, yeah. A little bit of a longer carry, but not too long. Just tack it down here. That ensures the carry across the back doesn't accidentally pull loose. It means it gets stitched over, it's secured without any lumps or bumps or any of that kind of stuff. Oh, look at that. How did that happen? Yeah, that's no good. Oh well, these ended up really uneven anyway, so no big deal to trim that tiny little knot off. Oh, right, I was going to carry that one up. Okay, so that means I actually do have to do some of these colors here that I said I was leaving till later, but I guess not. Like I say, I plan ahead a bit, but I will change that plan on the fly if I find it makes sense for me to do that. So I could do that. I could stitch those out of order. It all just depends on what I feel like doing. I've done it either way. Some of it just depends on the mood I'm in. Okay, so these two here. These two and that one. Yeah, that is one issue I find sometimes when most of the threads are traveling downwards, but sometimes they're traveling the opposite direction. That can cause a bit of juggling to try not to close things in. Okay, so that there. Leapfrog these over each other a little bit. Okay, so do that. Man, with the sun shining in the window now, I can see how badly I need to wash it. Yeah, I heard one trick they said is when you're washing windows, do all of the strokes one way on the one side and then the opposite way on the other side. And that way, if there's a smudge, it's easier to tell which side is on. Because, yeah, it always seems to be on the other side, right? Yeah. So, yeah, if you do one side is all horizontal and one side's all vertical, then it can be usually easier to see which is which. Okay, so do a little bit out of order here because I wasn't thinking ahead far enough when I parked this, but that's okay. Close in on 3 sides, not 4, so I'm not too concerned. Yeah, the way these colors are, I would kind of have to do them slightly out of order either way. do that. Yeah, I think this might be a little bit of the eye motif. The lighter colors as they sort of radiate out from the center there. Okay, and let that hang so it can untwist a bit. Okay, so I did that. Oh, no, that one's part, not done. There we go. Okay, so I did all that. Oh, look at this. I can actually do this with one strand. Then I can do these 3 and carry it down here. Haha. So that definitely was worth doing. Oh, we're about to pass 100 stitches done. Sweet. Okay, so goodness, that's not right. Just gonna duck my head under. Okay. Make sure there aren't any weird loops along the back. Oh. Okay, I see. These ends are not matching up. That's why. There. Yeah, now that I've smoothed that out, should be good. Yeah, there we go. I was pulling on the strands unevenly, and that will not give you a smooth result. Oh, no, I put that. Oh, I think I did too many. Yes, I did. I did 3, and I should have only done 2. Yeah, I suddenly realized when I went to park it, something was not matching properly. There we go. Okay, so okay, I did all that just so I can do these 4 without closing anything in. Since this thread was carrying from the bottom up, that meant I had to do some more filling in until I could do these stitches properly. There's a lot of threads here. Yeah, there are a lot of colors there. Okay. Oh, I have a lot of needles attached, I just realized, because I'm running out here on my needle minder, but that's okay because I know I have a few here that are about to be finished and tied off, and I'll get those needles back, like this one right now. That's of course assuming this is already threaded, which of course it's not. But yeah, the needle will not stay on it because I'm about to tie this off anyway, so no problem. So yeah, closed in a little bit, but I'm still overall happy with the neatness here. I find too, when you wash it, it kind of settles it a bit too. Or even it just sitting there, I find when it's just been freshly stitched, sometimes it looks a little messier, and then sort of as it's had time to sort of relax, it doesn't. Okay. Okay, so this one, we will get this needle back. Okay, so I've got 2 threads parked here, so there's actually 3. Yeah, I'm just gonna check the lengths of all of them. That's a longer one. Okay, so this one is short, so actually that works out perfectly because it's just long enough to do the 2 stitches here and then tie it off. So that of course is probably why I chose to park another one there. Okay, so take a look at what I have parked here. It's over to the side quite a bit. Yeah, this is not very long, so I'm going to actually add a second short strand for the 3 stitches that are over to the left there. Oh yeah, I've got a bunch of short ones that need using up, so not a problem. In fact, I might even use 2 of them because these are really short. Yeah, I always save these pieces because I say on these big projects, there is always a place to use up these little pieces later. Yeah, that is really short, so it's only long enough for 1 stitch, and then I'll add another one for the 2 after I do that triangle one there. So there. Just wanted to make sure I could get that to look normal before I tied this off. Otherwise I might have had to adjust this thread. Okay, so yeah, so we have a lot of threads parked here, but slowly we are thinning them out. That, and then one more short piece for those 2. Okay, so there's this one here. Let's see how long this piece here is. Yeah, it's a little shorter, so this is the one that I'm probably going to carry on with, the longer piece. Yeah, so there was a bit more feather here, I think. At least that's what it looks like to me, close up. Yeah, and then here's where you can see the edge of the flowers there, and then the wall's going to start coming in. Silly me, there's one already parked there, yeah. Which I knew. There we go. Yeah, this is not very long either. See if it's enough for these 4 stitches or not. Do these 3. Not the 4th one yet because it's kind of floating off by itself. And I don't do that. Yeah, I think I can squeak that last stitch out of it. I'll leave that threaded even though it's pretty short and it may not stay. Okay, let's see how long the one parked here is. It's okay. Okay. So it's gonna run out soon. So in that case, I'm gonna attach a long piece instead of a short. Yeah, what I already have attached will influence often what I decide to attach next. Oh goodness. There we go. Starting off tying it into a knot just to begin. That is no good. Yeah, I think this tan might be the beginning of the wall here. It's hard to tell. My little mock-up printout is really small. It gives me a basic idea. I had it and I drew lines across where my passes are so I know approximately what is in which pass, but yeah. It's not super detailed, just to give me a rough idea of where the cutoff lines are. I'm officially out of new needles on my magnet there. Oops. So I did those 2. I'm going to park it right here for now. Okay, well, I'll be getting some needles back pretty soon, I think. Yeah, that is just too short, so I'm going to unthread it. Yeah, if the needle falls off, it kind of rolls into my grime guard, and then sometimes I don't find it. Then when I take the grime guards off to move the thing, the needles go flying, and I don't want to lose them in the carpet, because that could be a very painful find for someone else later. do a bunch in a row. That is why I decided to attach a longer piece at the other side, because I knew this one was going to run out soon. So I can take over with this piece. Yeah, shoot, this is loose. Okay, well, rather than ripping that all back, I'm just gonna fix it. So find a scrap piece of thread. In the same color if possible, but it doesn't have to be. As long as you're not using a really dark piece of scrap thread on a light area, you shouldn't have a problem. But anyway, thread it through the loop. Yeah, I kind of invented this a while back. It's so much nicer than ripping back. Thread both ends in and then go back down and pull tight and tie off. Then that stitch is nice and neat again. And you didn't have to rip anything out, because that always sucks. Nobody likes doing that, right? There. Yeah, sometimes if there's a little bit of a loop on the back and you didn't notice while you were stitching, then yeah, it can pull loose and show up on the front. So that is just a way that you can fix that without having to undo anything, because nobody likes that. Okay, yeah, I knew that felt funny. There we go. I was about to have another loop problem there. Okay, so then I will probably start filling this in and work my way back up again, as I usually do. But I think that is where I'm going to call it a day. Yeah, we did 164 stitches today, so I'm pretty happy with that progress. So thank you so much for joining me, and hope to see you here next time. Thanks, everyone. Bye.